Good morning, great Biafrans. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Some of you, depending on where you're listening to us from, you are welcome. You are welcome. You are welcome. I would advise that you welcome somebody by your side and share this gospel, share this message, share this program as much as you can. Ensure you are not listening alone. Ensure somebody else is also listening, that somebody have the opportunity to as well listen as you are listening. We must continue. This is Biafra Radio, and I am your host. My name is Kimiowei Tari Nemi. You are welcome to the program for today, Voice of the Coast, on Monday, 14th of August, in the year of our Lord 2023. We must continue. We are live on Biafra Radio app. We are live on Biafra Radio page on Facebook. We are live on Biafra Radio page on Twitter. We are live on Alpha Power Media. We are live on IPOB UK Media on Facebook. We are live also on Biafra Radio page on YouTube. Whichever is comfortable for you, whichever is suitable for you, ensure you follow up. For those that are making use of iPhone, you may not be able to download the app, so you can make use of any of the pages on Facebook or Twitter or YouTube, as the case may be. But for those making use of Android, you can download the app. It is easier for you to make use of the app. It is easier for you to listen to the program from the app. While you're listening to the program, you can be using your phone to do other things, and the program will still be going on, will ride on. And it is cheaper for you for your data. For those that may not have enough data, the app is cheaper for you. Try and make sure you get the app so that you can follow up, you can follow through. We must continue. This is the 14th day of August in the year of our Lord 2023. And we must pray as it is our custom to do so, as our leader have taught us from the beginning. Let us pray. Tamara, we are here once again We have no one else to turn to. We have no one else to go to. But we have you. You have promised us that in this our time and in this generation, we shall be free. I have separated for us a prophet that shall lead us to that freedom. Our hope is in you for the freedom of our leader, Mazi and the Kano. We have not put our trust in man. We have not put our trust in our own wisdom. We have not put our trust in our own strength or in the things that we think we can do. But our trust is in you. We ask that you continue to keep our leaders safe and strong, that the plans of the enemy towards him shall never succeed, that they shall fail as they have always failed, and in your own time that you release him. Lord, we pray for all of our people all over the world, for those that are drawing back, for those that are dragging feet, for those that are giving up. We ask for strength. We ask that you encourage them. Let your light and your beacon of hope once again flood their hearts. Put them together once again and give them direction. Strengthen your people. Strengthen your people, O Lord. For many are lacking behind, not knowing which way to turn to. But you are our direction. You are our lead. For you are the leader of this movement, and you have always led us aright. You have never led us astray. That is why our faith is in you. Our faith is not in any other, but in you, O Lord. We commit the land of Biafra into your hands. The holy land of Biafra have seen too many blood. It is time for her to see freedom. It is time for the land of Biafra to see freedom. The land has seen many blood. The blood is enough. We are ready for freedom now. Lord, we ask that from this day, every man whose tongue is filled with deceit will begin to lose his tongue, and everyone that have gone astray should be wiped out of the surface of the earth. And all those who have taken sides with the enemies, let them be flushed out, so that the path will be cleared for those that you have called. All these we pray in the name of Tamara Chukokika Biama. Yiba. Ise, more power. Today we're talking about a topic which I title Prepare for Freedom. Prepare for freedom. There is an attitude that shows that one is ready for freedom. Freedom is not given, freedom is taken. There is an attitude. There are signs that one will see and say, yes, These people are ready indeed to be free. Until bondage and slavery have become something forbidden. Until a people have considered bondage and slavery to be something forbidden, they will never be free. If the people still have a portion of their heart whereby they are considering other options apart from freedom, they will never be free. If the people still think that, oh, we can manage this and we can manage that while in bondage, they will never be free. Freedom only comes to those that have eradicated every other option. Every other option. Every other option. Until all your option is only freedom, you can never be free. Mandela was in prison for 27 years. Ask yourself, how many years before Mandela was in prison were the South African people in bondage? If Mandela was imprisoned for 27 years, how many years before he was imprisoned did the South African people start fighting, the black South Africans start fighting for their freedom? How many years before that? And the people did everything. Everything. They have only one option. That option is freedom. They have only one option. They were called all sorts of names. It doesn't matter. It was only one option left. Only one option. And that option is freedom. Until you have only one option, freedom will never come to you. Until you have only one option, you will never be able to break the chains of bondage. Until you have only one option, you will never be able to conquer the will of the enemy to put you under his feet. Until you have only one option. And until that option is freedom, you will never be free. If while you're fighting for freedom, you're considering other options, you're considering to enjoy yourself, you're considering your comfort, while you're fighting for freedom as a freedom fighter, you have not started, you're not yet ready. Until there is only one option left. Only one. When there is only one option left, until you begin to take freedom as your lifeline, as the only lifeline, but when you have other options, when you think that you can postpone the freedom, when you think that, oh, let me do some other things, other people will handle it. Who will handle it? Until there is only one option left. Until your only option is freedom. Until the people come out and say, no, this is what we want. Look at what is happening in Niger. The people are coming out protesting. The whole world have seen that the Nigerians are ready for anything. Even if the whole world want to bring army to Niger, the people are ready to stand by the change. And that response of the people keeps showing to the outer world that any other person that is trying to bring them back to the status quo that they were, anybody that is making any efforts to that regard is an enemy of the Nigerian people. Is an enemy of the people. Is a destroyer of the people. Is somebody that is an oppressor. Because the people have spoken. The body language of the people have shown that this is what they want. Freedom comes with responsibilities. Freedom comes at a price. It comes with responsibilities. Until there is only one option left. One, not two. The other time people were jumping all around trying to vote because they thought that there is another option. They want to vote. I was on radio and I told you. When I told many of you that Tinubu will win the election, or rather Tinubu will be announced the winner. Some people said that I'm working for Tinubu. The truth is the truth. And that's not even because I even remember that our leader even said it 8 years ago. But I saw it that indeed they will rig it and give to this man. I knew that Peter Obi will win the election. It was obvious. I knew he would win. But I knew he will not be given power. And I said it. And some people that just like criticizing people for no reason, they said that Tinubu have paid me that I'm working for Tinubu. Who is the president today? Tinubu. People thought that there was another option. That, oh, we could manage this. We could manage that. If you have not learned from that mistake, you should learn now. There is no other option. And until you realize that there is no other option, people will continue to deceive you. People will continue to play pranks with your minds. There is no other option. And this is not a joke. Our leader on his last broadcast, he told us clearly that we must be strong in our minds. Very, very clear. Because the challenges are high. That many will be bought over. And you can see that many have been bought over. If you cannot see that, you have a problem. I'm not here to begin to point to you. This one have been bought over. This one have been bought over. I wasn't there when they were bought over. But when you begin to see the body language of people, when you begin to see people's body language, you will understand that people have been bought over. But we must be strong in our minds. The question is, What do you want? Do you want freedom, or do you want the distractions? Do you want to be jumping all around and be wasting time? What do you want? What do you want? We have only one option, nothing else in addition, one option alone. Freedom comes with certain responsibilities. When the people become free, they become responsible to their environment. But before that freedom is given, you must, number one, realize the responsibilities. And you must begin to act and begin to prepare yourself and put yourself in the position to be able to handle the responsibilities of freedom. Until you have put yourself in a place to handle the responsibilities of freedom, you are not yet qualified to be free. And this is not something for a few group of people to handle. It is something that the people must be ready for. All of the people. It is something that all of the people must be ready for. Freedom comes with responsibilities. It's not a tea party. It's not something that is easy. It is a difficult task. But everybody must be ready to handle this task. When I'm speaking in this manner, my mission is not to begin to sway people around and begin to dance around. But my task is to get to the people whose hearts are ready for this matter. The people whose hearts are ready for this freedom. If you have been dragging feet, you must stand up. And you must call a spade a spade. You must distance yourself from lies and deceit. You must distance yourself from lies and deceit. Look at the Western world today. The Western world is losing her powers because of lies and deceit. Because the rest of the world are beginning to realize the truth. And for the land of Biafra, we cannot afford lies and deceit. We must stand responsibly and stand responsible for our people and for our land. You cannot continue to promote lies and deceit and blackmails and propaganda against your own people. Look at what the West does. When you go to their countries, when you're living in their countries, you live fine, the law is working, everything is working. They don't promote lies and deceit in their own land. Why? They want to maintain their dignity, their freedom, the freedom of their people. They want their people's minds to be intact. They don't want people to be behaving like people that have mental cases, mental issues within their land. Or else they'll be destroyed from home. So your mind must be intact. Your mind must be intact. We want to develop a society that is straightforward, that is strong, that is good for everyone, not for some, not for a few, not for the high and mighty, not for the powerful, but for everyone. For everyone. And how do you build such a society? It's when you are straight. When you are straight. And when you have no fear of man. Look at the zoo. Why is the zoo the zoo? Because some people are unnecessarily powerful. More powerful than the law. More powerful than the law. Why is Mazi Nnamdi Kanu still where he is? Because some people are more powerful than the law. That is not the kind of country that we want to build. That is not why our people have been dying. We don't just want a geographical space. If it is just a geographical space, then everybody can go back to what they were doing and forget it. It's not just a geographical space. We want something that our children will be proud of. That our children will talk about this generation for generations and generations to come. Like the generation in the United States that fought for their freedom and got them freedom. How can the United States forget that freedom? That generation. You must realize that this generation is not the first, it's not even the second. If I should put it, I would say it's about the third to try. The first are those that were conquered through deception and military might. And colonization was established on our land. The second are those of the Ojukwu era. We are the third generation. We are the third generation to try. And that is why we cannot fail. That is why we cannot fail. The first generation, before they were conquered, they made lots of mistakes. Sold their own blood in slavery, allowed slavery to thrive on their land. They didn't fight against slavery. The only time they fought was when those that they were selling their children to now came home to take even their land and to take them the fathers. That was their mistake. The Ojukwu era, they tried their best, but they did not know their enemy. They did not know the strength of their enemy. They did not know the deception, the wiles of their enemy. They did not know how the enemy operated. It was in the course of the war that our fathers knew their enemies. But it was about too late. The deception had already gone far. But now we know our enemies. We know how potent they are. We know how weak they are. The strength of our enemies, our weakness. And our strength is their weakness. Let me explain that. The strength of our enemies is being able to manipulate our own minds, that we become weak and docile. That is the strength of our enemies. The strength of our enemies is not guns and bullets. The strength of our enemies is not unusual kidnap, arrests, killings. Those are not the strength of our enemies. All those things cannot kill the spirit of a Biafran. The strength of our enemies is a mastering our minds and using our own minds against us. That is just where the strength of our enemies are. That is the only place where they can be strong. And what is our strength? Our strength is in knowing what we want to do and going all out to do it, irrespective of who is standing against us. That is our strength. That is the kind of people that we are. We are go-getters. We go for what we want. It is in the DNA of a Biafran. We go for what we want. We don't stop. We don't drag feet. We don't draw back until we get it. So, what does the enemy try to do? All the enemy tries to do is to stop you from exhibiting your strength. Because if you do, then he will not be able to stop you. No matter what he does, he will not be able to stop you. Why do you think they have been trying to stop me since? Why do you think so? Why do you think all the efforts have been, hey, stop talking, stop broadcasting, stop writing. We have told you to stop. Just stop. Why can't they just ignore? Why do they just want the young man to stop? Because it is when you stop that they have won. I'm not saying this for me. I'm not saying this for me. I'm saying this for everyone. You cannot stop. What is that thing that you've been doing? You cannot stop. Because you see many people misbehaving. You want to drag feet. You want to stop. You cannot stop. Except what you're doing is wrong. No, you cannot stop. It is when you stop that they have won. When you stop, when you say, oh, it seems I'm the only one carrying this burden. Let me go and sleep. I have tried. No, you have not tried. None of us have tried. All of our sacrifices will be in vain if our land is not free. None of us have tried. The 1960 or the freedom fighters of the 1960s of Biafra. Where is their efforts? Did they try? They tried, right? But there is no excuse to failure. There is no excuse to failure. The only proof that they tried is that we are still here. If we fail, then they did not try. Just like we did not try. Your effort is not enough if you do not get it. Never, it's never enough. Your effort is nothing if you do not achieve the goal. Your effort is nothing. If you have been pushing on one line, in one lane, and you're not achieving results, it doesn't mean that you should stop. What it only means is that you sit back and think over the actions that you've been taking. These actions that have been taken, are they right? Are they productive? You think back. You recalculate. Put things in place once again, and you shoot. And you continue to go forward. You don't stop and say, I tried. How can you stop? How can you think that you have tried when you have not achieved the goal? You have not achieved the goal. You have not. Our leader said that he needs 100 men. In the midst of millions of Biafrans following the IPOB movement, our leader Mazi called for 100 men. And some people are bothered about some people's posts that got only 1 like, 2 likes. You must be strong. Our leader didn't say that he's looking for millions of people to achieve this. He said he needs 100 men. Are you one? How do you know that you're among the 100? It is only when you are a go-getter. When you are not discouraged by anything, when you do not stop. It's not about following the crowd. It's not about following the multitude. When you see where multitude of people are going, you say, okay, because multitude of people are going this way, then this way must be the right way. No. No. I personally never followed Mazi Nnamdi because multitude were following him. I know there are many people that followed him because of the multitude. There are many people that believed in him because of the multitude. I never did. I never did. I never followed Mazi Nnamdi because of multitude. I'm not a person of multitude. I don't believe in multitude. If the multitude is there, fine. Good. But I don't put success as a result of multitude. I'm a spiritual person, I've always been. I followed Mazi Nnamdi because my spirit is right with him. That is the kind of person I am. Because you must understand that we are in a very dark world. The world run by Britain and America, the world run by the West, is a deep, dark world. Very, very dark. And if you must be strong to break their chains of darkness, then you must be resolute. You must know what you want. You can never shoot from the right or to the left. You must be strong, head on. You must have a strong head. That somebody cannot just hold your head and turn it just the way he wants. When you are facing a formidable army, you must be determined and you must be disciplined. Determination and discipline is key. Discipline to follow the rules. Not to follow people that do not know their left from their right. Not to follow people that cannot achieve the goal. There are rules to achieving freedom. Until you can make those that consider themselves your masters, until you can make them kneel before you, they will never give you freedom. Until you can make them kneel. Do you know what it means to make a giant kneel before you? What will the giant see in you that will make him kneel before you? He must see strength that doesn't shake, that doesn't waver. And that strength is not in how much talk you can talk. That strength is not in how many kilograms that you can lift. That strength is in your mind. The question is, what you have been doing, will you stop? Will you stop doing what you have been doing? Because there are many pressures suppressing you from all corners. That is where the question is. Are you looking at the faces of people, or you're looking at the goal? Are you looking at the faces of people, or you are looking at your duty? What is your duty? What is your duty? Everyone have his or her duties. My duty is to be here to wake you up. What is your duty? My duty is to be here to speak to you, to tell you what you should hear, not what you want to hear. If I begin to tell you what you want to hear, then I have failed. I'm not here to tell anybody what you want to hear. I don't care whether you like me or you hate me. I'm here for a serious business. I'm not here to joke. I'm not here to have fans. I'm not here to grow my page. I'm not here for all that. What we are saying is a matter of life and death. People are dying every day on Biafra land. You know, some people think that this thing is a joke. And they'll just get on social media because they have their phones, insult anybody they want to insult, talk anyhow they want to talk, even when they are being warned. Even when they are being warned, they will not listen until the enemy will get hold of them. Then they will realize that this thing has not been joke. All the news that they've been hearing, it has been real. Then they will realize that this thing is no joke. It's real. And the people that they've been saying that are suffering, they have been suffering for real. It's not a joke. We're not here to joke. We're not here to joke. We're not here to play. Yeah, play is normal. You can play. You can go to places that you want to play, fine. But when you come out and say that you want freedom and you want to do the responsibilities that will give you freedom, you must be serious about it. Not looking out for people you want to insult. Look out for people that, oh, we must bring this one down. We must bring that one down. You must put your gaze where it is. The only thing we want to bring down is the zoo. It's not about individuals. So my duty is to tell you the truth. Tell you as it is. If individuals are messing up, we call them out. Of course. We say it as it is. Doesn't matter who the person is. But that doesn't mean that the person will now become a project. If people want to foolishly follow anybody to the dust, that is their problem. It is their business. But we are not after that. Our responsibility is to ensure that our land is free from the bondage of the zoo. Our people have suffered enough. Our people have suffered for too long. Biafra land have been in captivity for how long? You have your brains, you have your gifts, you cannot use them. You cannot use them for yourself, you cannot use them for your society. You cannot use them for your community. Because even when you try to create the opportunity, there is somebody somewhere that wants to suppress it. There is somebody somewhere that wants to suppress it. Somebody somewhere wants to suppress it. Our people have suffered for too long for us to be playing hanky-panky with freedom. You must be determined and you must be ready. It's not a time to play, it's not a time to joke. There is an attitude that shows that these people are ready. Not when you run into one little challenge, you run away, you draw back, you say, oh, I'm not doing again. Because you were doing what is right, and you know you were doing, then somebody rise up to insult you. You say, oh, they're insulting me, I will not do again. What about those that were killed? Why they were doing what is right? Are they here now to say that they are not doing again? Are they here now to say, oh, I'm not going to be involved again? For the fact that people have died for your freedom, you owe them that freedom no matter the cost. No matter the pressure, you owe them that freedom. We all do. For the fact that we still breathe, we owe the dead the freedom. At least for the honor that they didn't die for nothing. The 3 million plus people that died in the 60s, we owe them the freedom. They died so that we can hold breath today. We owe them the freedom. It is our duty to ensure that we do not stop, to ensure that we deliver our land from bondage. And I keep telling you, this thing is not difficult. It is not. It's not difficult to do. It's not a difficult task. Because some people begin to feel or to act as if it is too difficult. This thing is not difficult. These zoo are not difficult to defeat. They are not. Stop having that thing in your mind that see if they are difficult. Our leader has taught us everything. Everything. Everything he has taught us, everything he has laid the foundation, he has made everything easy and cheap. Maybe it was difficult before, but not after how many years of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's teachings, where he has made plain the whole world to us. He has made plain Britain. He has made plain the zoo and all the forces of the zoo. We know all their weaknesses as it is. And you still think that it is difficult. The only thing that is difficult is you. It is you. It is not the zoo. It is not the enemy that is difficult. It is you. You are the difficult one. It is your mind that is difficult. Your mind is too lazy. It's too weak. Your mind is too weak for a task like this. It is your mind. It's not the enemy. It's not the enemy that is difficult. It is your own mind. All these things are in your mind. It is your mind that is difficult. If you can tame your mind and do what is right and stay on the lane that you should stay, without looking at individuals, without allowing people that have soiled their hands to deceive you, then you will know that this thing is easy. It is easy when you face Biafra with love and you face the enemy with rage. It is difficult when you face Biafra with rage and you face the enemy with almost love. That is when it becomes difficult. There is no Biafran that is my enemy. No Biafran that is my enemy. It doesn't matter what you think of me today. It doesn't matter what I may say to you today. Because if you're doing wrong, I will call you out. I will tell the world that you're doing wrong. I don't know how to pet nonsense. I'm not that kind of a person. I'm not that kind of a person. If when my dad was alive, if he does something that is wrong, I'll tell him, Daddy, no, this one is wrong. Then who are you? That's the man that brought me to this world. Sometimes he'll be very angry. How can you? I'll tell him, but that is true. Now it is wrong. When he calms down, he'll realize, because my dad is not a proud person. When he realizes that indeed he is wrong, he will admit and call you and say, yes, I was wrong. You are right. So I don't see that person that I cannot tell that you are wrong. I don't see that person. That's not the kind of person that I am. I'll tell you you're wrong in the secrets. But if I see that you don't change, I'll come out in the open and say that you're wrong. That is how I am. Some of the people that some of you see me talking about on social media, if you know some of them I have tried to correct them on that particular thing for more than a year. I'm that patient. Before you see me come out in the open to talk about people, go to Facebook or to Twitter or one social media or the other to talk about the wrongs that some people are doing to frustrate the efforts of this movement. Some of them, we have talked about these things, argued over these things for more than a year. But they will never change. I had to go out to talk about it because many people have been deceived. But after I have told you, and you still choose to continue, my conscience is free. I don't have anything with you. It's a choice. It's a matter of choice. If you choose to hate me because I told you the truth, I have no business with you. I don't even hate you because of that. because I believe that life is a matter of choice. But if I know better, and I know that you do not know, and I do not tell you, I will feel that I am doing you a disfavor. That is how we feel. That is how I see it. So I believe that it is my duty to tell you. Except that particular one, I do not think that it is necessary. But if I see that this is necessary and it is dangerous, I will tell you. I will. It doesn't matter who is involved. It doesn't matter to me who is involved. So what I'm saying in essence is that for you to be free, you must first of all conquer the enemy in your mind, because the enemy first conquered our fathers in their minds before they carried the army to our land. Before Britain engaged any of our fathers in any warfare, whether it was the Ekumeku or it was the battle with King Koko, or it was in Arochukwu, any of these places, or it was in the Kingdom of Benin, the battle was first of all won in the mind. And that is why you must first of all win the enemy in your own mind. You must first of all win in your own mind. The day the enemy was able to convince our forefathers to sell their own people to them, that was when they conquered our forefathers. The day they were able to convince them, that was when they conquered. Until today, that mindset is still in our people. Some people do not care how many people that dies on our land. It doesn't bother them. It's not an issue to them, provided they have their way. You must never be that way. It should concern you. It should concern you. If people are dying on our land, it should concern you. And you must show that concern. You know, whenever I see certain things go wrong on our land, certain things happen, the question I always ask myself is, what if I was the one in that condition? What if I was the one and I was helpless? Because the fact is, I have actually been in similar conditions, except that Tamara have always saved me. So you must prepare your mind. You must be ready for the responsibilities that comes with freedom. You must be ready. You must prepare your minds. You must prepare your minds. Freedom doesn't come cheap. It doesn't come cheap. You must come of age for you to have freedom. Even in your family, when a child is born, the child will be subjected, whether the parents or guardians, as the case may be. And there are limitations. There are certain things that you will not be allowed to do as a child because you are still a child. You can't take responsibilities for certain things. You're a child. Even when you grow past the actual age of childhood, you're still not allowed to handle certain responsibilities because you're not fully grown until you get to 18. In some cultures, 20. In some cultures, 25. Before you can be allowed to do whatever you like because you are now considered an adult. In some other places, there is no particular age. It just depends on the family. There are some families, you are 18, you're still not allowed to do whatever you like. You're still not considered mature. You're 20, you're still not considered mature. In some families, you are the one that will begin to act. You will begin to show that indeed I have come of age. And in that process, some people will still be trying to subdue you and say, shut up. You're still a child. You say, no. I am 22. I have come of age. I should be able to know my right from my left. I should be able to know what is good for me and what is right. And when you begin to protest in that manner, a particular time, they will now look into it and say, indeed, he has come of age, she has come of age. This, my child, is now an adult. And that is exactly how it is when you are talking about freedom. You have to look at it from that angle of a child. For you to say that you deserve freedom, you must show. Because this one now is not even, they are not your parents. They are like guardians that don't ever want you to grow. Because when you become of age, just imagine there is in the history of Bonny, there was a particular king. I think that was King Perekule. King Perekule in the Bonny history. King Perekule, when King Perekule died, I think that was King Perekule. When he died, his child was underage. So there was now there was one of his servants that was more like a senior. So that one was made to be handling the kingdom. So it was just like the regent. And it was expected that when the son gets of age, that regent will relegate power to the son. Unfortunately, the son got of age. The regent refused to give back the power. The son had to fight to take back his throne. He fought and fought and fought before he was able to take back his throne. I can't remember all the names of the people that were involved. But these are the things that happened in Bonny. So, for you to take back your throne, you must show. You must stand. You must prove. You must show yourself before your enemies that indeed you deserve this freedom. No one will give you freedom out of pity. Say, oh, we pity them. If they actually pitied you, they will not come and enslave you. They will not come and dominate you. So nobody will give you freedom out of pity. You must know that. They will not give you freedom out of pity. The oppressor will only give freedom to the oppressed When he can no longer control the oppressed. When he can no longer control you. When he can no longer control your minds. When he can no longer make you to abandon your duties to go and sleep. That is when the oppressor will say, enough is enough. This thing cannot continue in this way. Take your land and go and do with it what you wish. But provided the oppressor can still control your mind, you'll be there for God knows how long. You must know that Nigeria is not ready to let Biafra go. No. Britain is not ready to let Biafra go. No. But until you can stand your grounds and tell them that this land is mine, stand man to man, adults to adults, face to face, and say this land is mine. It doesn't matter what to do. I will never allow you to run it the way you want. This land belongs to us, not you. This land belongs to the Biafran people, not yours. Until you can do that, the enemy will continue to run rampage over you. You see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has done 90% of his work. Or should I say 99% of his work? The remaining work is on the rest of us to do ours. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu coming out of that place, he is to come out with the crown. The man is to come out there with the crown. When he comes out, depends on us. Depends on you. Depends on me. Depends on how much we can do our duty. Depends on whether we'll slack or we will not. It doesn't depend on the zoo. Left to the zoo, they will keep him there for 10 years, 20 years. If not even 30, if they can. But the question is, how ready are you to get your freedom? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will not come out there and begin to run up and down the way he has been doing. When he comes out there, it's to discuss referendum and our freedom. You must understand that. For those of us that all our mind is, how Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will come out, do what you should do. They will forcefully release him. If you do what you should do, what is that thing that you have been doing? What is that thing that you have been doing? Have you gone to sleep? Or will you do more? Or will you increase your force? Will you come out strong? Stronger than you've ever been? Or will you go back and sleep? The release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is dependent on how determined the Biafran people are for freedom. How determined the Biafran people are to be free from bondage, to be free from the chains of the enemy. That is the only thing that depends, that will determine the freedom of our leader. Because you see, for 2 years, our lawyers have been working while we have been sleeping. That's the truth. You may not like it, but that is the truth. Our lawyers have been working while we have been sleeping. Our lawyers have almost finished their duties. If not finished their duties at all. What is remaining? They have done everything. They have gotten almost all the victories. What have we done with it? Nothing. Nothing. What have we used all their victories for? Nothing yet. This is the time to stand up. Put yourself back together. Put your house back together. Go back and call all those that have run away, or all those that used to tell you the truth and you don't want to accept the truth, and because you don't want to accept the truth, they left you. Go back and call them and gather the house together and tell them that the work must continue. The work must continue. Those that want to draw us back, we can leave them behind and we continue this work. This work must continue. We have slept for too long. Wake up. We have slept for too long. It's 2 years of sleeping. 2 years. Because if we weren't sleeping, the zoo would have released Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. I'm telling you. Now, I'm not undermining the work, the good work that every other person have been doing, the good work that people have been doing. Okay? By this, I'm not undermining your work. In this period, many people have lost their lives. Many people have lost their loved ones. Many people have put themselves on the line. Do not misunderstand me. But what I'm telling you is that it's not enough. While some people are trying all their best to do all the work that some other people are not doing are slowing them behind. Yeah. Those of you that are going to sleep, you must know that you're making the work tedious and heavy for the other people that are working. So you must rise up. You must rise up and stand up to your responsibilities to make the work easier. And because more of you are going to sleep, those that are working, the work is becoming too cumbersome. Because when you're supposed to be doing one person's work, you're doing like 5 people's work because 4 other persons are asleep. You're making the work tedious. It's not supposed to be so. It's not supposed to be so. Some people have said, oh, I will rest, I will relax until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is released. You're joking. If you say you want to relax, it's an evidence you do not want Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to be released. Because the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is dependent on your waking up. It's dependent on your waking up. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu expected that if something like this happens to him, the IPOB family is even going to be stronger and will forgive ourselves more easily and push even harder and stronger, even stronger than it was when he was here. That is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is expecting of each and every one of us. But in a situation whereby you say, oh, the man is not there, so we should go and sleep, you're making a grave mistake. The question is, do you want to see Biafra or not? Do you want to see Biafra land free? Do you want the people of Biafra to be free in this world, to celebrate? This is the time to rise up to your responsibilities. This is the time to wake up to the call. This is not the time to relax. This is not the time to carry your anger about, getting angry over this one, over that one, what he did before and what he did before. Anybody that is ready to work at this time, forgive the past and work. Anybody that is ready to work, we must put the past behind. In the past, many have made mistakes. Many have made mistakes. But we must put the past behind. No one is perfect. But we must put the past behind, except those that are still carrying. In fact, they have a project different from the project that we are pursuing. Their own project is not to make sure that Biafra comes. Their own project is to make sure that IPOB is weak and docile. There are some people running that project. Their project is to make sure that IPOB is weak and docile and talk like weaklings. And anybody that is trying to do something different becomes their enemy. Those are not the kind of people I'm talking about. I'm not saying that I should go back to associate with such people. But anybody that you see that have realized the errors and have realized that, oh, we need to sit up and do our work. Maybe you were faster to see the light. Maybe you were faster than this one or you were faster than that one. But you don't need to keep enemies because you saw the light faster and that one was still in bondage. If our leader was treating people that way, many of you will not be in this movement today because there are some people that are in this movement that their eyes have opened. At the beginning, they started up by fighting against the movement. They started up by insulting our leader. They started up by protecting everything they have to do with the zoo. Being patriotic to something that is artificial. that was not formed through any organic process or any natural process. The zoo. And anything that is artificial, the lifespan is not long. Anything that is natural lives forever. I'll be wondering, okay, how can anything that is natural live? Human beings, you continue to live. When you give birth to your child carries your DNA. You carry the DNA of your grandfather, your great-grandfather. That's your grandfather's DNA is still alive in you. But the one that is artificial, that is just made, after a while, it will get old, it will be destroyed, and that is it. That is the zoo. The zoo is old. The zoo is old. The producers of the zoo, the manufacturers of the zoo, said that their product is supposed to last for 100 years. It has completed the 100 years. It is old. That is why you can never get anything good out of the zoo. After the 100 years, late Buhari took over power. He died in power. And they continued to rule. The cabal of the zoo continued to rule the zoo. How did it turn out? A disaster. Because it is old. It has expired. it turned out to be a disaster. And you were thinking that in that zoo, Peter Obi will be given opportunity to rule. Nothing good can come out of the zoo. Quote me any day, any time. The zoo can never get better. I'm not cursing the zoo. I am saying the reality. It can never get better. So those of you that are still thinking that, okay, maybe I can manage somehow. I am telling you beforehand, it will not get better. How many of them knew that it is going to get to this extent? The zoo pride herself that her economy is run by oil. But you cannot afford fuel in your house to run generator or for the vehicle on an economy that is run by oil. So the zoo is finished. The zoo has expired. So what you are supposed to do is to forget whether the zoo exists. Forget the fact that you can see it physically. Forget whether the zoo exists and prepare yourself. Prepare yourself, prepare your house, and begin to take the steps that you should take to establish the Republic of Biafra. That is how you should state your mind. Stop looking at the zoo. Stop looking at the zoo that, oh, maybe, or maybe not. Maybe not. If this one doesn't work, we can manage. You cannot manage the zoo. We have only one option. Only one option. And that option is to restore Biafra. And the release of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is dependent on you. On whether you wake up or how long it will take you to wake up. You must shake yourself out of your comfort zone. You must. You must shake yourself out of your comfort zone. Because if you don't, we'll continue to run around in circle and be running like children that are playing in the field. We'll continue to run around in circle. Let me take this call. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome to Biafra Radio. Your name and where you're calling from?
Thank you very much. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Fellow Biafrans and lovers of freedom all around the world. Once again, my name is Pastor Jack, and I'm calling from my location. I want to add my voice to this hallowed chamber this very moment, because it is very, very important that we must continue to propagate this gospel. So, Biafrans all over the world, today stop talking about preparation or prepare for freedom. Of course, as you and I know, that freedom comes with animal sacrifice. And to be a freedom fighter, you must sacrifice. Okay, this here does not allow you to sabotage the system. Sacrifice here does not allow you to steal the system against other people for one or two benefits you want to get out of the pursuit of freedom. What we're talking about here is giving yourself wholly and totally and being committed of freedom. But nothing that will be commiserate or quantify freedom. That is why it is very, very important that anytime you just suppose whatever thing you have to be to freedom, you see that freedom way more better than any other thing. Perspective of the aspect that you see in freedom fighting, because these are some of the characteristics. Irrespective of them is given from starting persons, irrespective of those who try to do and exploit the system to their own benefit. But you don't want.
I think he's having a little network problem. Maybe he will call back to finish up what he was saying. When he calls back, he will continue from where he stopped. So the lines are open. You can actually call. You can call the number that is on the flyer. If you are on social media, you should be able to see the flyer. But I'll call the number in case you want to call and give your contribution. The number to call is +49 173 752. Sorry, +49 173 527 5073. +49 173 52 75073. So you can call and give your own contribution to the program. Let me see if I can call him back. If his network is better. If his network is better, if I can call him back. Okay, I think he's still battling. So we must continue. So you can call, you can make a call if you want to give your contribution. So what I'm saying in essence is this. Our responsibility is our responsibility. And we must never shy away from it. We must never allow anybody to weaken our minds. We must never allow anybody to weaken our minds. We must put our focus on the enemy, never allowing anyone to weaken our minds. Anybody that you see trying to make steps that will weaken your minds, that person is not your friend. That person is an enemy. They want to kill your spirit. They want to kill your zeal. That is the goal, because it is that your zeal, it is that fire that is burning in you that will give us this freedom. Whatever it is that you must do to ensure that your fire continues to burn in your heart, that the fire for this freedom continue to burn in your heart, you must do it. Whatever it is that you know that you have been doing, that have been making this fire to burn in your heart. There are some people that all they dish out on social media are poisonous. You must block them. If you continue to listen to them, if you continue to listen to their gossip, if you continue to listen to their propaganda and lies, it will only be weakening your spirit. It will not profit you anything. You must block them. Cut yourself away from them. Anyone who is not ready to fan the flame of fire for freedom, cut them off. Anyone that you see, all they do is to celebrate an individual or celebrate one person or celebrate that person, irrespective of lies that is being told, they celebrate the lies as well, cut that person off. Because listening to all those poisonous words will only weaken your spirit. And you will go back and you begin to ask yourself, what am I still doing in this place? What am I still doing? You must stand out. You must keep fanning the flame, that our leader lit in you. You must keep fanning it. You must never let it go out. You must never let it go off. You must never let it go down. You must continue to fan it. You must continue to fan that flame. Because that flame, fanning that flame, is the secret to all of our freedom. Fanning that flame is the secret to all of our freedom. There are some people that have the habit of never, ever supporting anything that is good, but only looking for opportunities to cause trouble. Cut them off. You have no business with them. Cut them off. Block them. Keep your space. Keep your head free from gossip. Keep your head free from distractions so that you can think well, so that you can see properly. When you go to bed in the night, you will see visions, proper visions concerning the task that you have, that will keep you aright, that will keep you on track, so that you don't miss your way. There are many people that have missed their ways. There are many people that have given up. Many of them are saying, oh, until Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is out. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is out, we'll continue. You're joking. I say you are joking. You're not serious. You don't want him out. You don't want him out. The task is on you now. The ball is on your court. It's no longer on Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is there, waiting for you to do your responsibilities. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is there, waiting for you to do your task, to do what you should do. What is that thing that you have been doing that you have stopped doing? What is it? What is that thing that you have stopped doing? What is that thing that you were doing for the restoration of Biafra that used to give you joy? That you are making progress, that you are contributing your quota. What is that thing that you have been doing that you have stopped doing? You better go back to it. If you truly want this freedom, you better go back to it. Go back to it. Dust it and continue. Continue from where you stopped. You must continue. Our leader never taught us to stop. Our leader never taught us to draw back. Our leader never taught us to lose faith. Our leader taught us to be resolute. Never giving up. Never dragging feet. We must begin to go back to all the messages. If you have forgotten what our leader taught us, you must begin to go back to the messages that he preached and begin to listen to him once again and bring back the fire. Because many of the people that you have been listening to, they have been killing your spirit. Every day you see things that make you to ask questions. Why is this like this? Is it supposed to be like this? Is it supposed to be like that? Is this the way that we are supposed to go? What is happening? Why is this person behaving like this? I used to think that this person was this. I used to think that this person was that. What is this statement that this person is making? All that is to distract you and to destroy you. They cannot destroy you by force. They want to destroy your mind first. When your minds are destroyed and you accept defeat in your minds, then you are gone. Then you are finished. We must be strong. We must be strong. My purpose today is to ask you to be strong. Definitely, I'm not talking to everybody. Because the spirit is cleansing the movement. Cleansing the movement. Anything that is not good. The spirit is cleansing the movement. And it is only those that are in the spirit that will know the direction of the spirit. Those that are in the flesh will continue to run after multitude. But those that are in the spirit knows the direction of the spirit, and they will submit themselves to the direction of the spirit. But those that are in the flesh, they will continue to deceive themselves and to be following the tales of deception, deceit, unnecessary propaganda, unnecessary lies. But we are not in that category. Anyone that listens to the advice of the oppressor or the advice of their beneficiaries is not yet ready. Why do you think your oppressor will advise you? Give you an advice that is good for you to be free. He's enjoying your captivity. He's enjoying the fact that you are his captive, that he can run rampage on your life the way he likes. The beneficiaries, the politicians, and all, they don't care. They don't want Biafra to be free because many of them do not have clean slates. They cannot come out for any election and be expected to be elected properly in Biafra when Biafra is free. Because many of them are not pure. They are not. Many of them, the ways in which they made their money are not good. You know how the zoo is. Most good people are poor because of the system of the zoo. The zoo promotes crime and criminality. So those that want to be rich, that doesn't care whether they should be good or not, can break the rules and settle those they want to settle and climb to heights. So when they get there, they get into politics. Many of them, they have cockroaches in their cupboard. But they all know that you cannot stand in a free Biafra, that you will not be properly investigated. Because we don't want criminals to be ruling over us. Of course, we don't want that. So they know that they may not stand a chance. And they want to continue with the zoo and all. So whether people are dying in Biafra land is not their business. I'm not saying it's all of them. Probably there may be one or two that still want freedom no matter what. And maybe after the freedom, even if they don't get the opportunity, they may not care. Of course, there may be one or two of them like that. But me, I don't trust them. And I will not advise that people should trust them. So when you begin to take the advice, mostly the advice that they give you in public, you begin to take it, then you might be in a big trouble. Because they will not give you an advice with the intention to make the struggle, to make the movement to progress. Because you must know that the only reason that the zoo picked our leader and they did not kill him there, the reason they picked him, you should know this reason because it's very simple. It's not difficult to know. It's not difficult to know. It's not difficult to understand. The reason the zoo picked him is to cut him off from the family. That is why they put him in a place whereby he cannot speak directly to people. They refuse to take him to correctional center. They want our people to be in the dark of our leader so that they can break the spirit of the Biafran people, and most especially of those involved in the Biafran movement, to break our spirits and weaken us, kill those that they can kill, kidnap those that they can kidnap and lock them, and continue to break our spirit. See, when you see them kidnapping people and whisking them away, disappearing them, and you no longer hear from people that used to be hot, all that is to weaken you, is to break your spirit. The whole purpose of keeping our leader is to break our spirit. If they do not succeed to break our spirit, they will succumb. They will succumb. And all those that they have been able to grab to themselves from amongst our ranks, all they are doing is to break our spirit. That is all they are doing. That is the duty of the zoo. To break your spirit, to weaken you. Now, some people draw strength from weakening others, from attacking you to subduction, to subdue you, to subjection. Whenever they see that you're trying to rise, they want to subdue you. They are doing the will of the zoo. So, if you allow them to succeed with you, then they have defeated you. But we are not going to allow them. They know that we're not going to allow them. Number one, we'll not allow them to kill us. We'll not allow them to kidnap us. I will not allow them to shut us up. We will not allow them to stop us in whatever form. We will not. And it is because of times like this that our leader Mazi Kanu said that he needs 100 men. It is because of times like this. Are you one of the 100 men? Stop looking for the 100 men outside somewhere. Oh, there must have been all those people that you've been hearing their names. Oh, there must have been all those people that have large followings on social media. The 100 men, if you're one of the 100 men, people don't even need to know you. People don't even need to know you. People don't even need to know you. But you're doing your work. You're doing your duty. Your impact is being felt. There are some people that are doing so much for this movement right now. But nobody knows them. Nobody knows the work that they are doing. But they are working so hard. Doing so much. They don't care. They don't care whether anybody knows them. Some don't even want people to know them. The few people that knows them is enough. That is the attitude that you should have. You know your duty. You do your duty. It doesn't matter whether people know you or people doesn't know you. What is fame? What is fame? What are you doing with fame? What is it? It doesn't matter whether people know you or whether they don't know you. What matters is you. Do you know yourself? That is what matters. You as an individual, do you know yourself? Before you're thinking of whether people knows you or whether people doesn't know you, do you know yourself? That is all that matters. Do you know yourself? If you know yourself, who knows you or who doesn't know you will not matter. For some, all these are just self-esteem, low self-esteem. You're looking for approval from one person or the other. You're looking for approval from the crowd. You have low self-esteem. You have low self-esteem. You think that it is when multitude of people approve you. That is when you are important. You have low self-esteem. You need to work on yourself. You need to work on yourself. Yeah. You know your duty. Some people, their duty don't even need people to know them at all. But no, they still want people to know them. Some people, their duty, they just need to be very quiet. There are some people in Biafra land, if they were very quiet, they would have still been alive today. But no, they always want to talk. They always want to show themselves. There are lots of things that you can achieve by being quiet. Silence. Lots of things you can achieve with silence. Lots of things. But I've noticed that one of the weaknesses of our people is talking things that are unnecessary. So much unnecessary talk. You want to project yourself. You want to be known. People must know you. What does it matter whether people know you or not? When Biafra land is free, if you want everybody to know you, it is fine. Sometimes, even people knowing you is not even good for your safety. Because both the bad and the good will know you. So you have to be careful. But if your duty entails that people should know you, then it doesn't matter. They can know you. It's fine. If that is what your duty is, like those in the media and all, people can know you and the work that you're doing. Because it is media. There is no how you can do media for people not to know you. But there are some people, your work is supposed to be very quiet. You do it, you focus on your duty, and you take yourself off, remove yourself from any distractions. All these distractions, this one said this one didn't say. This one said this one, that one said this one. There is so much energy being placed on what is said and what is not said. Meanwhile, there is nothing that is being done. So much energy being placed. Oh, he said that one. Oh, he said this one. Meanwhile, things that should be done on the ground, nobody's doing it. People that should be taken care of on the ground, nobody's taking care of them. Nobody. They're abandoned. And you're busy jumping around what this one said, what this one didn't say. Do your duty. It is your duty that will bring results. If your duty is, if talk is not part of your duty, talk will not give you any results. If talk is part of your duty, choose your words carefully and say the things that should be said. And leave the things that are unnecessary. It's not every opposition that you will fight. Some oppositions are unnecessary. You see, that is why from the beginning, some people didn't like me. Oh, I hate this person. You don't hate this person. Or you're not showing that you hate this person. You're not always coming out to gossip about this person that all of us hate. Because you don't hate this person that all of us hate. Then I will hate you. We work by a different set of rules. There are some of us that we are only here because we were instructed by the Spirit to be here. And the steps that we take are steps according to the leading of the Spirit. It's not according to the leading of what you hate or what you like that will make us to take the steps that we take. We take the steps that we take according to the leading of the Spirit of this movement. For somebody like me, if I did not hear clearly why I should be here, I wouldn't have been here. I'm a simple and easygoing person. I don't like trouble. I don't like getting myself in unnecessary troubles. If I had considered this movement an unnecessary trouble, I wouldn't have gotten myself involved in it. But the trouble that is necessary, something that will trouble me because of the good of the future and the good of others, I'll be involved. And that is why, for all the steps, for all the things that we have to endure, I've never for one day regretted any. And I will never. Because I know why I'm here. The question is, do you know why you're here? Have you found a reason to be here? Have you found your duty? And are you doing it? That is the question that you should take home. You must prepare yourself and prepare your mind for freedom. You must put your house together and begin and go back to the roots, go back to the foundation, and begin to do those things that you have always done. Mind you, this message is not for everyone. It is for those that are ready for freedom. It is for those that are ready to take up the cross and carry the cross of freedom. It's not for everybody. At this juncture, we shall be calling it off. Thank you for listening. You would do yourself and you would do others a favor by sharing this gospel that has been preached. Once again, my name is Kimiowei Tari Nemi, and this is Voice of the Coast on Biafra Radio. Thank you very much for listening, and God bless you.